Hey, I'm John Cannell, and today on Preppy Kitchen we're making crisp and delicious waffles. So let's get started. First off, plug your waffle iron in so it starts to preheat because this recipe is very fast, as it should be for a morning breakfast treat. In a large bowl, I'm adding 2 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour, that's 270 grams. Perfect, 270 grams. Now I want 1/4 cup or 50 grams of granulated sugar, sprinkle that right in. If you're wondering, is there any difference between a waffle recipe and a pancake recipe? Generally, it's just about the proportions. A pancake recipe will have less baking powder because they don't have to puff up as much. And for contrast, I'm adding 3/4 teaspoon of salt. 1 1/4. If you're using a superfine or iodized salt, I would go down to 1/2 teaspoon because iodized salt is harsher and superfine has more salt that fits in a teaspoon than a regular salt. Our scale is done, so we're gonna say goodbye to that. Grab a whisk. This is the perfect whisk, a dough whisk. Right, give that a good mix. And by the way, if you love delicious things, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. There's 2 new recipes every single week and always something delicious right around the corner. If I've promised to make waffles in the morning, but I'm not sure that I'm gonna be 100% there in the morning, I might have a slow start, I'm gonna mix the dry ingredients and have them set aside, and I'll mix the wet ingredients and I'll have that in the fridge. So all I have to do is combine the morning of, and it's really easy. I'll tell you more about that later. Set your dry ingredients aside, and I have a big measuring cup here with 2 cups of whole milk. I microwaved it so it's room temperature because ice cold ingredients are not your friend when you're using melted butter. To my milk, I'm adding 2 large eggs, no shells please. 2. Give that a mix right now just to break the eggs up. To my milk mixture, I'm adding 1/2 cup of unsalted melted butter. If you don't feel like melting butter in the morning, you could use veggie oil. And if you want to have the best of both worlds, use 1/4 cup of each. So that'd be 1/4 cup of butter, 1/4 cup of oil, and that way you'll have a beautiful taste of butter, but the crispness that oil gives you. So they go hand in hand. Any of those 3 ways is delicious. All right, pour that in. A little more mixing. And we're finishing this off with 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Add that in and give it a mix. Grab your dry ingredients. Oh, just in time. All right. Grab your dry ingredients and we're gonna combine these, mixing until it is just combined. And this makes a good sized batch of waffles. I don't make this every single weekend. What I'll do is make a big batch of waffles and then I'll freeze the rest for later. If you freeze your waffles and then you put them in the toaster, they are good as new and it's like a delicious breakfast in seconds. So if you wrap them up, they keep in the freezer for up to 2 months, and in your fridge, if you wrap them up, they're up to 3 days. And you have a choice right now. You could add some mix-ins right now, or if you're like my family and you're becoming a short order cook, add your mix-ins waffle per waffle. So I'm gonna bring George and Lachlan here in a few minutes and just ask what they would like in their waffles. My prediction is George wants plain, Lachlan wants chocolate, and I want blueberries. We'll see if I'm right. Do just a bit of mixing to try and get some of these lumps out and look for any hidden pockets of flour. These, by the way, are like a traditional, glorious American waffle. The other variation that's really famous and the original is the Belgian waffle. Belgian waffles come from the 1800s. They're puffier, fluffier, and they usually have all sorts of delicious toppings on. But the difference is it's either a yeasted dough or a batter that has fluffed egg whites folded in. It's also made with a pearl or nib sugar, which keeps its shape during the baking process and has like a nice caramel note to it. Okay. Now we're ready to grab 1/3 cup triggered scoop or a measuring cup, and I'm gonna get some opinions on my mix-ins. Lachlan, George! Oh, they come so quickly when they know it's going to happen. Okay, so, you know what this is?
Banana sauce.
Do you know what this is?
Butter, cheese, batter.
Waffle batter, you were close. Okay, so you have a couple choices. Chocolate chips in a waffle for you,
Oh, I want
blueberries,
chocolate chips.
or you could have it plain. What would you like?
I want chocolate chips. I want chocolate
Okay.
chips.
I want mine plain, but I might have blueberries just to show people what it's like. All right, so let's go back over to the waffle maker. It's ready to start. So be very careful here.
Okay.
It's hot. So scoop up the batter, and you're gonna add in 1 big scoop.
What if we burn ourselves?
I'm gonna be watching, so you're not gonna burn. Okay, add that in. And then I had 2 requests for chocolate chips, is that right?
Yeah.
Close the top and lock it off. Your waffles are gonna be done in a few minutes. I'll call you right back when they're ready. Have fun playing.
Me too?
Yeah, you too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. So my waffle iron has a timer. My waffle iron has a timer on it. If yours doesn't, or if you're confused about when they're ready, it's gonna be when the steam is mostly gone. It's gonna be a ton of steam as all that water in the milk evaporates. But once it goes away, your waffle is on the nice golden crisp side of things. Also, your first waffle is going to take the least time because your waffle iron will be the hottest. So just be warned, if you don't give it less time, it's gonna be extra dark and crispy. When your first batch of waffles is done, you need to have a wire rack at the ready. This will allow all the steam to kind of go away and keep your waffles crisp because you're gonna be on a waffle assembly line, let's be honest. You have several sets of waffles to make, and you don't want the first set to be all soggy and soft and the last ones to be crispy and perfect. They should all be crispy and perfect. Very chocolatey waffles, ready for some cooling action. Oof. If you have some spillage and little areas that leaked out, if they're cooked, that is your chef snacking privilege. Batter in. And this time I'm adding a handful of blueberries in for my waffles. Those blueberries are gonna smash and burst, but it's gonna be delicious. Come over here. 1 and 2. All right, George,
Yeah.
can you do me a favor and pour some syrup on those waffles?
Are there chocolate?
All over the place.
Are there chocolate chips?
Excellent. Yours have chocolate chips, mine have blueberries. And we need a little
We
bit.
need some here.
Okay, we'll add some extra later on. All right.
Are these for the morning?
1 bite for you, yes. 1 bite for you. Oh, okay. And 1 bite for me. So, do we have a winning recipe?
Yeah.
Okay. I hope you get a chance to make this recipe, and if you like this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and check out my breakfast treat playlist. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
All right. You can have some more now. Yeah.